Hey, my Lipton. So there's been a few little superhero news that has been coming out. I want to discuss them. First I want to talk about this whole Captain Marvel and the Ant-Man movie situation that's happening right now. I also want to discuss this whole conversation with Denzel Washington as Magneto, which is very interesting. So I want to talk about that last. But before I start, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's get up to 100 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. I want to thank all the people that are already subscribed to my channel. Thank y'all so much for, supporting me, for liking my content, for being here. I really appreciate it. And let's keep the brand going. Let's keep the channel growing, and let's get into this video. So first, let me talk about. Okay, yeah. Um, I want to discuss this first. Okay. So apparently, this is just the news that's been coming out of Marvel Studios, and it's been confirmed now. Even though I know a lot of times rumor tends to fly here and there, but this has been confirmed that Marvel Studios uh wants to focus more on like like hits, I guess. Well, quote unquote, what they consider to be hits, and they want to take less risk with Captain Marvel 3 and Ant-Man the Wasp 4. So these two projects are also unlikely to happen. Also, I forgot to say the Eternals. They said here that Eternals is no longer in development. Marvel Studios is said to be focusing on less risk with their movies and more guaranteed hits. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, and y'all know on this channel, if y'all been my day ones on this channel, y'all will know. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Eternals. I thought that the writing, the script, how certain some characters were written, I wasn't feeling it. Like, to me personally, Cersei was just a deer in headlights to me. If y'all been on my channel, the character Cersei was just like ooh. Like, this, she was too way too much deer in headlights, and I felt like Salma Hayek's character too is like, I feel like they depowered her a little bit. It's like when she got pushed down the mountain, why is she using a shotgun? Like, it was just a whole thing. My two favorite characters in the film, and I said this before, was Makari and Druid. I honestly wish they would get their own Disney Plus show. Okay, give me, in general. I felt like we weren't really ready for the Eternals movie to be made. Like, even the first movie, like, it should have been it should have been built up, and I felt like we got slapped in the face with these, characters that we weren't ready for. And I felt like, the script wasn't all there, the writing wasn't all there, um, the some of the characters' performances was not all there. So personally, for me, I just felt like, the Eternals overall was not, to me personally, it was not a great movie. It could have been better. Like I said, I have my few characters that were really, really cool. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I do, it is a little bit unfortunate that, you know, especially with a cast like this, and Angelina Jolie's character, I forgot her name, but like, I think it's Athena or something like that. The fact that all these people on this cast now, they're not gonna have their, like, like a Marvel spot, like, because Marvel is also seen as like one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood today. So the fact that, like, they're going to be put on the back burner, it is a little bit sad to hear. I know a lot of the people on this cast was looking forward to, you know that this film was going to do well and everybody was going to like it, but unfortunately it was not a good film, and people, the film did bomb in the beginning. So it's sort of like, where do we go from here? Now, when it comes to Ant-Man and Captain Marvel, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I have no issues with this. And maybe it's my own personal bias, with this. Obviously, it is because I'm giving my own opinion. Ant-Man, I never, like, for me, it's just, I never really been interested in him. Like, it's just, he's just there. I get it, like, he was very useful towards, like, Endgame, Avengers Endgame, whatever, whatever. But that's how I feel about Ant-Man. He's that kind of character where it's like, okay, side character, to like help out here and there. It's like I just don't feel like he really deserves his own film. But then again, that's just me. That's just me. That's just my own opinion. But I just never really connected with Ant-Man. It's just like I just don't really care about his powers like that. With Captain Marvel, like for her to have the superpowers that she has and for her to be as powerful, it's just Captain Marvel's personality. Her personality, the way she comes on the screen, was just even since the first movie. Since the first movie, and I talked about this on my channel before. Since the first movie, I was just like, oh my god, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Like, what is going on here? How is she one of the most like insanely like powerful character in like in all of the Marvel comics, but yet this is how she like I don't know. I just don't I never found her to be very appealing to me. Um so I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna be losing no sleep with these two films not um happening at the moment, because they're saying they're taking less risk, they're going at the back burner. So it's not like these films are never gonna happen. It's just that they saw the box office numbers. We have to be honest. Captain Marvel 2 did not do well. It bombed in the box office. Ant-Man 3, I didn't watch it, but what people told me, it was trash. Like what they did to the character of Kang was like everything was trash. And top of it out with Ant-Man, you know, and the whole Kang thing and the whole Jonathan Majors thing, there's just a lot of things that's been going on, out inside and outside of, these films. So it's just like, are we really gonna continue on giving y'all this money to do these films if it's just gonna continue to bomb in the box office? And and I think that, and this is why I have to sort of play devil's advocate with Marvel. It's like I think that they looked at the public backlash, and they looked at, not backlash, I don't like to call it like that, like I think they look at it, because I do think that a lot of times, especially some of these actors, because I did talk about Kumal when he discussed why the Eternals bombed, and then he said, oh well, because he felt like the audience wasn't ready for, like, he basically framed it in that way, like, the audience wasn't ready for like a gay couple and which is not, like, I don't like when they just paint this brush on moviegoers or people that watch films and watch TV shows. It's like that is not it. Yes, are there homophobic people? Are there racist? Are there this? Yes, there definitely are there when it comes to these, when some of the backlash is there. But there's other times where the film is not always the best, and that's what happened with the Eternals, and that's what happened with Ant-Man and Captain Marvel. So I just don't want to make it seem as if, oh, because I even with Captain Marvel, I remember the director was like, "Oh, I'm surprised that all these men, or something, all these white men, or something like are actually happy to come and watch the film." And I'm just like, why would you want to antagonize people in that way? It's like you would want every different demographic to come and watch your film, and it's like comments like that turn people off, and it's like a lot of these actors and directors really need some like training, PR training, because it's getting annoying. Like y'all know me on this channel, I'll call out misogyny, racism, and homophobia any time of the week on this channel for why a film or a song or wherever bombs. But there's just certain aspect where I feel like that's not the collective of people's criticisms with these films. So it's like I want us to get to that point where we're having those conversations. But yeah, I think that just to play devil's advocate, Marvel's looking at these things like, listen, like, I'm not gonna keep giving y'all money to do these big budget, big films only for it to flop. Like, no, like we're gonna start back at the bottom. And I personally, for me at the moment, I do think it is a good idea to do that. I know there's a few people that are upset with this sort of thing because it's like, they do like their particular characters. Like I said, I in the Eternals, I love Bakari, I love Druig. I like the fact that she is deaf in this film. So I thought that it definitely would have brought a great representation. And I remember when the first Eternals movie came out, I think that when they saw that Makari was deaf, the character Makari was deaf, that it brought, like, I think they said like a couple of people, it brought people to go and learn sign language or something. Like, I like things like that. I like inspirational things like that. So but yeah, it is unfortunate that Eternals is also taking a back burner, even though personally I didn't like the first one. But you know, with this, it should have been baby steps. The Eternals should have been baby steps. It should have been baby steps with this. They should have never just slapped it onto the screen like, yes, these are the Eternals. So now y'all need to figure out this, because all these people have their own individual stories, they should have built it up like how they did the Avengers. Like, give each one their own individual film, or even give them their own individual Disney Plus show. You know, build it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, tell me what you guys think for these two topics. You know, it is unfortunate that this is happening. But you know, we just gonna have to move on. Um, Next, I saw this. So this guy, Giancarlo Esposito. So it's him on the right side, on the upper right side. Apparently, he came out and said that, because, well, first of all, this guy, Carlos' name has been going around. Even last year, I remember, like, his name was going around for him to play Professor X, and so that was a thing right there. And then I think, obviously recently he said that, he think that Denzel Washington would be a good Magneto. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think this is a good idea. Um, for both when it comes to Professor X, but when it comes to Magneto being played by Denzel. And don't get me wrong, I love Denzel Washington as an actor. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. Carlo, I haven't watched a lot of his films. Giancarlo, I haven't watched a lot of his films, but I heard that he's a really good actor as well. So I don't know. I might get into some of him, what he's been doing, but I think at this moment to sort of change, because okay, well, some people are saying, well, at least what I was thinking of was like Magneto. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate with this one too. But first is like, they said that, for Denzel to play Magneto, it'll be a little bit, insensitive, because Magneto is also a Holocaust survivor. So it's like sort of that, the Jewish representation of that. And then, Professor X, and I heard, and I recently saw that, Giancarlo said something like, if he is gonna play Professor X, then he doesn't want to be in a wheelchair while playing him, because it's like, it's not really as comfortable playing a character in a wheelchair. And then plus, there was a few times where Professor X wasn't in a wheelchair. There are times where he's standing and walking. I just don't. With that, that's the thing. Like, I don't like that. First of all, I don't even think we're at this place yet overall, especially concerning the X-Men. First of all, the X-Men have a lot of work to do. A lot, especially with Marvel not owning X-Men. They have a lot of work to do. And someone mentioned this. I was watching somebody talking about this, and he said, I I'm all for, trying to bring in new people to play our favorite characters, Professor X and Magneto, but it's like, y'all not even treating the few minority characters in in the comic books right, when they come onto the big screen. So it's like, why would I want y'all to bring in, Denzel Washington as Magneto if y'all are only gonna, because it gives them more of a high chance of, messing the character up if, they sort of do this race swap. Because it's like, in a way, that is true, because look at how Storm in X-Men is treated. And I talked about this at length on my channel. I discussed how, Storm is always, she seems very depowered in the X-Men films in the past. And on top of that, we also got to talk, and I talked about it recently too. Y'all guys can go look at the video I just put up not that long ago. I think maybe a week ago. where I discussed that, y'all need to cast Storm properly because for the past almost decade or so, y'all have cast Storm as this light, bright woman when in fact that she is a dark-skinned black woman. Like y'all constantly sort of miscast Storm and y'all depower her. So it's like for me, it's like y'all don't even treat the minority characters that is already there, that is, either black, Asian, Hispanic. Y'all don't even treat them with too much respect as it is. So y'all want to bring Denzel as Magneto? Uh-uh. Y'all need to fix the characters that y'all already have, fix them, make sure y'all write them in a way where they're as powerful as the main characters. Okay? I understand, yes, they're the side characters, they're not the leaders, but don't depower them. Like don't lower them because it's like it makes it hard for us to really connect. And it's like I think that, Storm just plays a huge part within the X-Men, but it's like they have constantly like the X-Men creators, they constantly never give that woman like a it's like in a way it's like she's like a throwaway. And on top of that, y'all miscast her all the time. It's like y'all always casting either biracial people, racially ambiguous people as Storm when in fact she should be a dark skinned black woman. Simple. These things are very simple, but yet I don't know. These casting couches, these people that be casting these people, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's wrong with their eyes, but it gets annoying. So no, I'm not ready. I don't even think the public is not ready to see this. The public is not ready to see Giancarlo as Professor X, and the public are not ready to see Denzel Washington as Magneto. Keep the same people that have been playing Magneto and Professor X the same. Bring back Michael Bender. Bring back Ian McKellen. Bring back Ian McKellen. Bring back those people. Let them do justice to the characters. Let them continue to slay us. Okay. Bring back Patrick Stewart as Professor X. We need these characters to be the same. Okay, and maybe in a decade or two, we can talk about, sort of race swapping them. Because at the end of the day, these are comic book characters, yes. But at the moment right now, we're not ready for that. We're definitely not ready for that. Okay? You know, shout out to you, Boo. In my Iana Van Sant voice, does that look like something that you want? Does that look like something that you want? Well, let me tell you, you'll never get it. Like that's what it is. It's like you'll never get it. Like, are you serious? But yeah, but no, like I said, I love Denzel. I love him as an actor. I think that he's one of the greatest actors of all time. But I'm just, I'm not ready for that. And on top of that, just realistically, like Magneto was a Holocaust survivor, so it's like I don't know. I think it would be, and of course, people are gonna be like, okay, well, there were also some black people that were in the Holocaust as well, which I completely understand. But I think specifically with Magneto's character, they specifically said he's, this, because I like, if it's based on identity, race, religion, I think that those characters should be played by someone who is within that race, religion, identity. Just personally for me personally. So, yeah. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. How do you guys feel about this news? How do you guys feel about the Eternals? How do you guys feel about this whole situation, Captain Marvel, Antman? And tell me what, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.